Nice to see everybody. Very well. All right, so let's start with meditation right away and make sure that your camera. Oops. Let's start with meditation right away. Make sure that your camera is well set up, so your legs, hands, and face are well visible. Huang Chi will need to make some improvement. Others seem to be fine. Tan Ngok, make sure that you do not lean over anything during meditation practice. And some of you do not keep your legs properly. So your legs need to be kept properly. Seems like many of you don't know. So for example, no, we do not use breakout rooms for for teens. No, only for preteens. So half Wong. Look at your legs and see how you're sitting. You keep, okay, you understood. Who else? Nice, suddenly everything is good. Good to see that. All right, so we can make sure your back is erect. It is difficult. I see most of you do not use a cushion, or maybe all of you. It is a good thing to use a cushion. It is a good thing. Not only that it is allowed or that it is fine, it is a good thing. I recommend to you to use a cushion. All right. You do not need to go to Amazon and buy expensive cushions, although that's a good idea. But you can take your pillow and you can meditate on your pillow. You can fold your pillow and sit on that. This would not be appreciated, for example, in Myanmar because they feel that's not hygienic. But you're not in Myanmar, so you can do that. And if you have no other option, or if the pillow is only meant for your meditation and not for your sleeping, then it's fine anyway. All right, even in Myanmar. So it's a good thing to have something under your bum. In that case, only your bum is on the cushion and not your legs. Your legs are on the floor. All right. Okay, so as we are sitting in a comfortable meditation posture, make sure your back is erect. Without the cushion, erect back is more difficult. You will, many of you will automatically go further. Yeah, or I don't know how to say that. You will lean forward, and that's not right. That's wrong. I don't know what's going on with the camera. Your back needs to be erect, but without a cushion, it's difficult. With a cushion, it's much easier. Without a cushion, you'll probably be leaning like this forward, and that's so much not healthy at all. Your back needs to be erect and straight. Two things. Straight means that it's not slouching, and erect means that it is not leaning in front or too much back, because then you fall, and that's not good for you. So, one trick to do that is to stretch your arms above your head and then carefully keep your back the same as it is and slowly go down with your hands and keep them in your lap. Another option is to imagine that your head is hanging on a string that is attached at the ceiling. And so that way, that helps, for example, me, to make sure that your back is erect. We will not be closing eyes during this meditation practice. We will see the floor in front of us. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 5 minutes, I will meditate on muscles without any movement. From now on, for 5 minutes, I will meditate on muscles without any movement. From now on, for 5 minutes, I will meditate on muscles without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. And we continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. So everybody please change into your mermaid or merman posture. Very well. All right, so now these first few lessons that we are having together, my main objective is to get you the right habits. As soon as you have the right habits, it's easy to build on them by knowledge, by an understanding, by additional activities and practices and training. So for that, you need to have basic habits. And the number one habit that I wish to instill in your mind is meditating every day. So what we will be doing is that every time we meet here, we will ask you, how many times did you meditate during the last week? So how many days out of the last 7 days did you meditate? And where and when? So that you're clear about the fact that you need to have a specific place and specific time to meditate. As soon as we will get about 70%, 75% of you meditating 7 days in the last week, we will increase the time for your meditation here. All right. So there will be some progress and things will start happening so that hopefully within 3 months or maximum 6 months, most of you or all of you will nicely meditate 15 minutes every day without fail in a good place, in a good time. And we will not need to ask you those questions anymore because that should be something natural for you. All right. Okay, so we're not there yet, and this is the explanation why you will get these quizzes every week, the same thing, replying again and again, because I need to make sure that you are meditating every day. Some of you already meditate every day, so please be patient with others. Those who don't, work hard so that we can move on and get to something more serious, because we are still not even scratching the surface. We are barely touching it. Okay, so I would like to ask the organizers to pop up the first quiz. How many times or how many days did you meditate last week? Or something popped up and then disappeared. Okay, here we go. So everybody please answer. You are altogether how many? 18 students today? So we will wait. Well, it says of 16. So why does it say of 16? Tutam, any idea? You have no idea. Okay, no problem. No problem. Everybody who can see the quiz and can answer, please answer. I think at least one more person can still answer. If you see it, answer right away. All right, no problem. So now we have only 7%. of you meditate 7 days? 7 days. That's not much. You see? Most of you meditated just 1 or 2 times. Well, you meditated 1 time with me, the first of the last 7 days, right? So actually, no one should have selected 0. Because all of you, some of you, if you're new, of course, 0. But all of you who were here previously, you were meditating with me. So you have that 1 to 2 times, 1 time. But that definitely is not enough at all. All right, you need to meditate every day. So thank you very much for participating in the quiz. Something's going on. Okay, fine. Now 100% participated. That's good. But we have just 6%. Now it's 6%. Previously it was 7. Now it's 6% of people meditated 7 days. That's not fine. We need 75%. Okay, so those who did not meditate 7 days, think about it. All right, somehow make it. It's just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. You have those 5 minutes. If you want to go to toilet, you always have them. I suggest to you that you meditate in the morning, so that if you forget in the morning, you will at least meditate at noon. If you forget at noon, you will at least meditate in the evening. If you forget in the evening, you at least will meditate at night. If you forget at night, at least as you are there in the bed falling asleep, I didn't meditate. And you immediately get up, take your 5 minutes. Okay, nice. And then you can happily, peacefully sleep thinking, yes, I did it. If you meditate at night, you don't have that privilege. Okay, it will not be possible for you to postpone it and postpone it. You will have to either meditate or you miss it, and then next day is the next day. So that's why I recommend to you to meditate in the morning. Anyway, you can meditate in the evening if you think you can make it. So I would like to ask the organizers to pop up the next quiz about the time. When did you meditate last week? So everybody, oh, that's something else? How long time did you meditate? No, that's not needed. We will not be asking this one. So do not answer that. All right. So a quiz is coming which says, when did you meditate? So everybody please answer. All right, answers are coming up. Not yet. So if you check your device, you'll have a quiz there. You still have 4 more people to answer. 2 more people. Check your device. Quiz is ready for you to answer. All right. Nice. Everybody answered. So we see that 31% out of you meditated right after you woke up. Some of you, 2 of you, 13% meditated after you returned from school. And over 50%, 56% out of you meditate in the evening. So you can see most of you did not meditate all the 7 days. Relatively, most of you meditate in the evening. Maybe there is a connection. What if most of you meditated in the morning? Maybe most of you would have those 7 days of meditation. Some statistics, mathematics, it is possible to realize. So try it out. okay, for this week, try to meditate in the morning. Wake up 5 minutes earlier. Take your 5 minutes meditation. And it's done. It's just 5 minutes earlier. Okay, so now another quiz is coming which will ask you, where do you meditate? It's important that you have a designated place where you meditate. If you cannot meditate in that place 2 days in the week because you are sleeping somewhere else, because you're traveling or something, well then that doesn't matter. You need to decide a place where you mostly want to meditate. So where did you mostly meditate the last week? Okay, quiz is ready. Check your device. You can answer right away. 3 more people to answer. Two more people to answer. You're waiting for 2 more people. All right. So most of you meditate in your room. Some of you meditate in your living room or in the Buddha shrine. Some of you meditate somewhere. One of you meditates somewhere else. Good. Now everybody has answered. So the person who meditated somewhere else, we do not know who votes and who votes what. So do not be shy to vote whatever you want to vote, because we have no idea who's deciding, who's choosing that answer. All right, no worries about that. But one of you said that they meditate somewhere else. So if you can share with me in the chat box, I'd be very much interested about that. Nobody out of you meditates in the garden. I suggest that you try it out. Okay, and then you will see if you have it. Of course, some of you live in an apartment, so you don't have a garden, so then it's difficult. I would like to suggest one more quiz that just came to my mind. And the quiz question will be, do you meditate alone? All right, and there will be options. I meditate alone. I meditate with brother, sister, nephew, etc. I meditate with a parent, parents. I meditate with more people than 1 or 2, So if you meditate with brother and your dad, well then that would be option D, okay? I meditate with more people than 2. E, I meditate with a friend or friends. All right, there is no other option. So if you have any other option, you will have to select E. Okay, I meditate with a friend, and then you can tell me in chat box what do you mean. So I'm going to send it to Tutam. Ready there. So please wait. It is very helpful if you have someone to meditate with. That will make sure that you will meditate. If someone else is meditating with you, when they're lazy, you will drag them to come and meditate. When you are lazy, they will drag you to come and meditate. That is the great opportunity, that's the great advantage if you can meditate with someone. You do not need to meditate all family. Of course you can. Excellent. But if you meditate with one person, it's totally enough. And some people have the problem that that the other person meditates longer time or something else. That is not very good, but it is still fine. For example, suppose your parent meditates 45 minutes. You want to meditate 5 minutes. Okay, you can answer this. So, do you meditate alone? All right, still some more people to vote. 3 more people. If you see the quiz, answer right away. We're waiting for 3 people to answer. Now 2 people. We're still waiting for 2 people to answer. Nice. So most of you meditate alone, or 47% out of you meditate alone, so about half. Some of you meditate with your brother, sister, or other relative. Some of you meditate with a parent. 6 of you meditate with a parent. Oh, that's very lucky. That's very good. And 1 of you meditates with more people than 2. That's good. That's very good. You can also get your friends to meditate with you. This is amazing. I'm so happy that I made up this question. This is so good. So I'm very proud of you that you meditate with other people. Those who meditate alone, get your dad or mom or somebody to meditate with you. It will help. It definitely has a very good benefit. If you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, meditate with them. Somehow do that. Somehow persuade them, you know what? I want to meditate 5 minutes. Try it out with me. If you have, dogs, cats will probably not meditate with you. But whoever is there in your house, when you wake up, in the morning is the best time. Meditate with them. If you see your friends, you visit your friends at their house on a birthday party or other party or anything, get them to meditate with you. Say, I meditate, come, let's try it together. All right? In the worst case, they will say, no, I won't. Nothing worse can happen. All right? Do not force anyone. Do not force, do not persuade. Invite. You can say, I invite you to meditate with me. Are you coming? All right. So you can say meditation helps so many people around the world. Maybe it will help me and you. Let's try it out. All right. So many people in the US, many teenagers are taking medicine because they're depressed. In the Czech Republic, we don't believe that you should take medicine when you are a teenager. You should take medicine when you're 90 years or 100 years old, not when you're 15. Now, when you're 15, you're supposed to be healthy. Because if you already take medicine when you're 50, then how much medicine will you take when you're 90? If you can live up to that time. So ideally you stay without medicine and you stay healthy. You take healthy food and you meditate. Healthy food for your body, meditation for your mind. Fine. I see. Somebody meditates with their mom and 2 sisters and sometimes with 6 people. Okay, that's great. But I suppose that sometimes they are not all available, right? So in that case, that is another problem. So meditating with another one is sometimes advantage and sometimes disadvantage. It becomes disadvantage when you are attached to that. So then you feel like, oh, my brother is not here, so I will not meditate. That's a disaster. That's a disaster. When you meditate with someone, it should be your advantage, but not a reason for attachment. Do not be attached. Okay? Take it as a friendly gesture. You support the other one in meditation. Not that you are supported by another one. You know what I mean? The attitude to meditate with another one is not like, oh, he is meditating here for me. No. The correct attitude for meditating with another one is always that you help the other one to meditate, not that they help you. And they should have the same attitude. They should think that they help you to meditate. Okay? So then, if they are not available, it doesn't matter so much, because at least you meditate and you inspire them to meditate there where they are, if they are in a different place, by the fact that you meditated. Then let's say you meditate in the morning, in the afternoon you call them, you know, today in the morning I meditated, what about you? And they say, oh, I didn't make it. And you say, actually, if you could, it probably would work very well. To me, it was fantastic this time. Maybe. Or if it was not fantastic, you can say, well, this time it didn't work well for me, but at least I could relax a bit. So whether you meditate with the other person or not doesn't really matter. But if the other person is there that can support your loving kindness and the relationship when you meditate with another person, with that other person is much, much stronger. So if you girls want to make sure that your boyfriend loves you and trusts you and is reliable, meditating with him is a good idea. For the boys who want to maintain their girl for a long time and make sure that she is reliable, meditate with her. Meditation is very powerful. It's well known. It's well known in the world that if two people who are either husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, if they meditate with together, it makes the relationship stronger. How does that happen? Because they become special. Then your boyfriend or your girlfriend is the special one who meditates with you. Because nobody else meditates with you, okay? So that person becomes special by the very fact that they meditate with you. Of course, there are many other people who meditate, but they don't meditate with you. So it's a kind of experience you get together, like going for ski or going for some travel or trip and so on. Those are ways how you get special experience. But meditation is a little different because it's not so much outside, but it's an inside experience. You together get a very deep inside experience. You do it for yourself. Of course, you meditate so that you work with your mind, but you do it together. And that is what makes you, each of you, very special. So that's what you can do. It's very lucky. Usually it's not possible because the other one believes something else, or they just don't believe in meditation, or they just do something else. They want to do some rituals, or they want to do some chanting. Now, what I wanted to especially emphasize here is the time. So you meditate 5 minutes. What if the other person wants to meditate 60 minutes or 45 minutes? That again should not be a problem. After those 5 minutes, you just stand up and do whatever you want. You do not need to meditate longer than 5 minutes. You want to meditate 10 minutes, you can. No problem. But more important is that you meditate 7 days. The time really doesn't matter. That's why we are not asking you the time. We are asking you only the place, the time, when you meditated, not how many, but when, and how many times in that week did you meditate. But we do not ask you how long time did you meditate. That's because it doesn't matter at this stage. Later we will probably ask you, but at this moment you just need to get the habit of meditating every single day. So some of you maybe use alarm to finish your meditation time. You set up your alarm, 5 minutes, okay. and now I will meditate. Don't do that. Regardless whether you meditate alone or not, or whether you meditate different time with the others or the same time, do not set up alarm. Okay? This is very important. Instead, what should you do? Take your phone or your meditation clock or whatever it is, get a nice clock app, and keep that phone or the clock in front to the side on the floor. So it will be looking something like this. So you're sitting in your practice. This is where you see, this is what you see in or hear during your meditating. And the clock is here. So as you meditate, you see this place, and when you want to check the time, because you meditate with opened eyes, you just change this angle of your sight, of your eyes, to the angle of the time. Then you see it easily, it's very quick, very easy, and then you just return the angle of your eyes to the front of you. Very simple. You can do this as many times as you want during those 5 minutes of meditation. You will, of course, have to remember when you started, because if you forget when you started, well, then how do you know when you have to finish, okay? So if you started, for example, now, you see I have here in Vietnam 10:44 p.m. So then, if you start, well, then you need to know you finish at 49. You cannot just like, I don't care, and just meditate. It doesn't work. You need to know how long time you want to meditate. So in the beginning of every sitting, you make a determination. The determination is, from now on, for 5 minutes, I will meditate on muscles without any movement. From now on, for 5 minutes, I will meditate on muscles without any movement. So this is your determination that you say 3 times in the beginning of your practice. You check your clock, okay, now it's 45, I will finish at 50. And you meditate. Then you look at the clock time and again when you feel, when you suspect that the time is up. As the days go by, you will get the habit to look at the clock at the right time or at the safe time, so before it's finished. Does anyone have any question or concern or suggestion or anything you would like to tell me about meditation, about clock, or anything else? Nothing to say? Okay. So now we will move on to your homework. So you are working on some more pages from what the Buddha taught. Some of you were wondering if you can read the book in Vietnamese. You can. And it's a very good idea. All right, do it. But your homework should be in English, because although I study Vietnamese, I have no way how I would understand what you write. So you need to send it to me in English. You would publish it in the comments in English only, and no Vietnamese there, please, because then the Burmese could say, but we have Burmese version, so can we write the notes in Burmese? And you don't want that to happen, okay? Because Burmese translation is also available. All right, so I see here quite a lot of homework. I would like to ask Tutam to take the attendance and also to mark the homeworks. Tutam, do you know how to do that? Because I take attendance list only for the preteens. So that's what I forgot today, and that's all what had to be done.
Yes.
You've already done it. Excellent. Thank you very much. The people here sometimes change a little, so please watch out when there is a change to see if some students come. But after the moment we finish our meditation, your attendance sheet should not undergo any changes. Regarding the homeworks, you can register them a little later. There's no hurry for that. So I would like to ask again some people to read their homeworks. Who did I ask last time? Can you please raise your hand who I asked last time? Because I think I have marked only the preteens that I asked, but not the teens. So please wait for me a little. Did we have only 2 people who read the notes? I thought we had 3. Maybe the third is not here anymore. I wonder if Max... Oh, 3, okay. We have 3. Very well. Yes. I cannot see Max and Jack. Are they here? We had Max and Jack a little while ago, right? It seems that they... Yeah, could be because something's going on. They're in UK, by the way. Max and Jack, who are joining us, are joining from the UK, from the United Kingdom, and their time by now is about 3:50 p.m. It's not a bad time at all, but they might have some activities in the afternoon, hard to tell. So that's why. Okay, thank you very much. So you can remove your Zoom hand. I have noted you down. And so I will be selecting some other 3. So I would like to ask this time Isabella, Timo, and Fu Bao to raise your hand. Please raise your Zoom hand. Okay, so Isabella, do you have your homework? If yes, please read for us your 2 sentences, right? Yeah, just 2, yes, both of the sentences. Yes.
If anyone said, in quotes, I will not lead the holy life under the blessed time, unless he answers the questions, close quotation, he made back with these questions unanswered by the
Tathagata. Tathagata. Can you say Tathagata. Tathagata.
From page 20, there are 2 ancient Buddhist texts called the third. They are and the third, which will be the 23 resonances of his disciples.
Thank you. A little note regarding the reading in Pali. So in Pali language, there is no sound tha. The sound tha, just like fa, do not exist in Pali. Okay. Instead of tha, you read tha. Tha. Instead of fa, you read pa, pa, okay? So you never have fa in Pali, never have tha in Pali. And if you ever hear someone saying fa or tha, you know that they don't know Pali, okay? So be careful about that. If great masters say tha or fa, then you can say, oh dear venerable sir, you read it wrong. It's wrong pronunciation. No worries, because it is wrong. It is ta and pa. And the reason we know this so clearly is because the alphabet contains ta and pa as separate symbols, as separate characters. Just like you have A, B, C as separate characters, pa alone is a different character from pa and ha. There are three different characters. Tha is actually not tha, it is ta, and also that is a separate character. You have ta, ta, ha are totally different characters. You write them in a different way. And ta is actually easier to write than ta. It's faster because it's just a different character. And ta is very common in our scriptures, just like pa. All right? So now what I wanted to show you is how do you distinguish between ta and ta. So ta is the sound that you use in well, it's just T, like you say in the word toy. It's T, but this T is more blunt. So instead of saying ta, you say ta. Okay? So you put your tongue further in your mouth, and so it bluntly touches the upper jaw. Ta. The ordinary English T is sharp, so you touch the upper jaw by the tip of the toe. Ta, ta. All right, but ta and tha are two different sounds, each with their different character in Pali language and in Burmese as well. So you need to distinguish ta and tha. But this is a little too far. We will discuss this probably after in the second semester of this year. What I want you to start with is with these ta, tha, pa, pa. How do you get this ha? Well, the ha will create a kind of pulsation. So that's why I got this paper to show you. If you say ta, then it doesn't do anything with the paper, ta, ta. But if you say ta, then it will move the paper, ta. You see? Ta. Okay, so the H, the ha sound, is important there. Otherwise, it's something else. Like the Vietnamese people know it. For the Burmese, it's a little difficult. So in Vietnamese, you get ta and ta are totally different things, and you always must pronounce them right. In Burmese, you don't. In Burmese, actually, it doesn't matter. But whenever you read something in Pali, you need to distinguish them. Ta and ta are different. So that was for the ta, tha, gata. You see, ta has just ta. Ta has tha. Ta, tha, gata. So that it means the Buddha. And Therigata, Theragata. Thera means elder monk. I'm also Thera. I could actually sign myself as Ashin Sarana Thera. This is my official title. Just like there's PhD, just like there's MA, I have title Thera, but I don't use it because why? No need. As soon as a monk is 10 years or longer a monk, then they have this title, Thera. I've been monk for 11 years with the higher ordination. I've been monk for 15 years, but the higher ordination for 11 years. So that's my title, Thera. Dare you call me Thera? No, I don't like that. Okay? Thera, it means elder monk, knowledgeable monk, wise monk. Okay? And that's the title you get when you are 10 years or older. You maybe have heard of this book, The Buddha and His Teachings. And the author is who? Narada Mahathera. Here the Maha means big. So there is a higher title than Thera, and that's Mahathera. Mahathera is if the monk is 20 or 30 years a monk. Okay, so that's like a big master. All right, but Mahathera is not taught by the Buddha. The Buddha spoke about Theras, but not about Mahatheras. That's later development. So Mahatheras are like Theras. Thera is a very important title. With this title of being Thera, I can own a monastery. I can ordain monks. I can be a chief monk in a monastery. And I can be the teacher, the preceptor of a new high ordained monks. Monk or monks, doesn't matter. So this is a very important title, which entitles me to teach, to spread Dhamma, and to multiply, to make new monks, to ordain new monks, to increase the amount of the monastics. I can ordain nuns as well. I cannot ordain high ordained nuns, but I can ordain novice nuns. So that's all. Those are special abilities, special permissions that I get with this title that I now possess. If I ever fell in love with a girl and became a layperson, well, then I lose that title. 0. And if I then decide to become a monk again, I do not get the title. I have to wait another 10 years to get that title. All right? So having that title is very special. And of course, you can understand that with this system, if a monk has 20 years, 30 years, 50 years of monkhood, that's a very big thing. Okay, imagine after 10 years how big that is. Well, then how big should it be if it is 20, 40, or 60 years of monkhood? That's incredible. All right, so Thera. Never say Thera or Thera. Never do that. All right. Thank you, Timo. Yes, Timo. Um, did you write your notes from the assigned pages, or did you write from somewhere else? Ah, but you like wrote a summary, right? You did not copy. Is that what you did? That's great. Just read us two sentences from what you wrote. Okay, thank you. Was that two sentences? Sound like one. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Fu Bao. Yes, you can start reading. Do you have your note from the book? So please start reading right away. Nice. Thank you very much. So please always remember that when I ask someone to read their homework, as soon as they finish reading homework, they can remove their Zoom hand. Now all of you can remove your Zoom hand. And when I ask you to read your homework, when I tell your name and I say you can start reading from your notes right away. You do not need to ask until I explain. Can you please kindly read for us your notes that you have written for the... No, no need. I will just tell you your name and please start. You can start reading. Fine. So now questions. I already know that one of you has a question. I don't know who's that, but I know that one of you has a question, and I promise to answer it today. And that is, why was the Buddha a man? Does anyone know the answer? Can anyone answer me? Why was the Buddha a man? Or any idea? Nobody? Okay. So first of all, the Buddha was a man because he wanted to. Many of you, or most of you, probably all of you, are men and women because you wanted to. You wanted to be a woman or you wanted to be a man. You get what you wanted. You need to do a lot of merit in order to be born as a woman, in order to be born as a man. So, most importantly, the Buddha wanted to become a man. Now, the question could be, well, but could there be Buddhas who are a woman? And I'd say in a culture where women are respected as leaders, probably yes. But it seems that naturally this will not happen because women are culturally expected to take care of children, not to lead population. That would be the job of men. It's also possibly a safety reason because the man who leads is envied. People are jealous. Why do you lead? I want to lead. I don't want you to lead. And they kill him. Now, if it is a woman and she is pregnant or she has children at home, then that would be a problem. If it is a father, it is not so big disaster because the mom is still there at home with their children. So it's better if men are leaders because of this thing. Because men, if they are harmed, it's not such a big problem for the children. Whereas if a woman is a leader, then she needs to take care of the population and also for the children. And if there is someone who's jealous and they cause problem to the woman, then the woman will not live, or she will be injured, or she will be removed, or something else. It is easier to be jealous of a leader than of a leader who's leading many people than to be jealous of a woman who's just alone there at home with her children. That's my theory. You don't need to accept it at all. But I believe that culturally it is more advantageous, more easy to be a leader. Because also many people are not ready to follow a female leader. Whereas it is it is relatively easier in general for both men and women to follow a man leader. So it is definitely easier for the Buddha to be a man if he is supposed to be a leader. And another suggestion, the Buddha needs to be a man because he needs to set up the community of monks. Well, why wouldn't he be a woman and set up community of nuns first? Well, that's because nuns get raped and robbed, whereas monks do not get raped. And yes, they do, but nobody cares. Whereas when a woman gets raped, people care, especially if she's supposed to be a leader or an example for them. So it is much easier for the Buddha to be the leader, and the Buddha sets up a community of monks who set up monasteries. They peacefully meditate in their forests, in their monasteries alone. And then based on this basis of the men community, which is well known and recognized and respected as the leaders of humans, as the representatives of human, the nuns, the lady monastics can be set up based on this basis, so that the ladies, the nuns, live in dependence on the monks. So that if robbers come, monks can come out and say, no, you will not be robbing here. Or the robbers will simply not come. Such is the nature. Of course, many robbers don't care at all. But when the men are present, it seems that robberies and raping is much less than when men are not present. So monks have special permission to travel with nuns, so that the nuns are not raped and robbed. How did that happen? After nuns were raped and robbed. The Buddha made a rule after there was a problem. Because if he made the rule before there was a problem, people would say that the Buddha is a sexist. So the Buddha waited until nuns who travel get raped and robbed, so that he could say, when nuns travel, always there must be another nun or a monk. So now nobody can ever say that the Buddha thought that women are weaklings and they're not able to take care of themselves. Because that's what Americans like to say when men take care of women. They say, oh, these men, they're sexist. They prepare me a chair to sit down. I can do it myself. That's the modern American view. Okay, nobody can say it about the Buddha, because the Buddha gave the women the chance to show that they can take care of themselves when they travel in a jungle. It didn't happen. They were not able to take care of themselves. So monks had to take care of the nuns. We don't hear of any stories where the monk and a nun who traveled together would be raped and robbed. Maybe it happened, it's not in the scriptures, but it's not there. That's what I can say. Okay? So that's why I believe that the Buddha had to be a man. And always the Buddha must be a man. The Buddha said that it can never ever happen that the Buddha will be a woman. But moreover, it's not just about the last life that the Buddha is a man. Throughout thousands and thousands and thousands of lives, maybe millions, the Buddha to be, who is training in the previous lives to become the Buddha, is always a man. Well, he's training to become the Buddha. So he's oftentimes a king or a leader or a general. Yeah, sometimes Buddha to be kills and a lot. So he's training himself in leading. He's training himself in deciding. So those are some abilities, some skills that he's getting throughout many, many lives. So that when he becomes the Buddha, he's the ultimate, the perfect leader of humanity. All right. So those are some like the fact that the Buddha always must be a man is in the scripture. The reasons are my own ideas. You don't have to accept them at all. And maybe they're all wrong anyway. Okay? But that's what I'm sharing with you here. Okay, your homework. Somebody's asking me where to turn on their homework. You need to turn it in. You turn it in. You need to turn it in our Facebook group. So I'm going to share with you all the Facebook group, the link to the Facebook group where everybody is submitting their homework. And in the Viber group, I provide the exact link where to submit the homework. All right, so whoever of you cannot find where to submit their homework, just check the Viber group for grade 4 teens, and you will get the detailed information there. Timo, do you have access to our Viber group for grade 4? Your mom has it. Okay. So you may like to ask mom for details if you need. Okay. But this link should be enough. If you come to this link, then the last post where you will have there the appropriate deadline and the amount of pages should be enough information to submit the homework. You always submit it as the comment to the post. All right. So you will see the previous post, also the name of the post or the text of the post shows you what to do, which pages, and what's the chapter or the book. And then in the comments, you make a comment where you write your name, and below you write your homework. And then other people also add comments to the post. So it's very easy for us to find out which homework was done by which people, and we have it nicely and neatly together. All right. Any more question? Anything you'd like to know? No question? Any questions regarding the book? Make sure you note down nicely the words you don't understand so that you can ask me. Yes, Isabella? Yes, that's coming soon. I need to make sure that all questions are answered, everything is clear. All right. If you are shy to ask me a question, you can ask me in the chat box as a private message, or you can ask me through Tutam, through the organizers here, or you can ask me through your parents, because I meet some of your parents during our parents meeting. So your parents then ask me your question, and then I just answer it here, so nobody will find out if you're shy, but I don't think you need to be shy. Fine, so now let's look at the pages. So for you were reading pages 11 to 20, right? So last you were reading 11 to 20, now let's read 21 to 30. I will show you how that looks like. So the book, it has page numbers, you see. Follow those page numbers. All right. So at the upper right corner, you have page numbers. Follow those page numbers, and this time it will be 21, where the chapter 3 starts, the second noble truth, samudaya, the arising of dukkha. All right. And you will be reading until page 30, which is nicely the end of chapter 4. Okay, it says realization of nirvana. Okay, so then you have for the other week you will have one blank page, so it will be a little easier this time. It's a little more. So 10 pages, I think you all can do it. It's what was for the past week as well. And for those who don't know yet, because some of you here are new, I will show you how to do your homework. So first of all, you need to read carefully the text. All right, so you read it, read it, read it. Read and read and read and read. When you have finished your reading, then you need to take the sentence that you have highlighted. As you read, you may like to highlight the sentence. I'm using PDF Exchange Editor. There's a free version, PDF Exchange Editor. You can download that for free. I find it so far to be the most agile PDF reader. So you read and read and read, and then you find something, you can highlight it. So you can select it like this. For example, the theory of karma should not be confused with so-called moral justice or reward and punishment. Okay, so that's one sentence. You can highlight that. And then you will read and read. And then you will see something else. For example, this is to say freedom from conceit, destruction of thirst, no, that's not a sentence. So the abandoning and destruction of desire and craving for these 5 aggregates of attachment, that is the cessation of dukkha. All right? Highlight. You like it, you continue reading until you finish your reading, and then you go back to the highlighted sentences, and then you just copy them and paste them in the post. So I will prepare the post for the next homework. Yeah, next time we will not be spending time with this. I promise you that this is the last time I'm explaining how to do homework. If I forget it, remind me next time. Finish your homework by March 17. Ideally, do it today itself. All right? So there is the post, and you need to create a comment, and in that comment to that post you first write your name, and then under that name you need to copy paste or type up your note, okay, the 2 sentences that you have selected to share with others. So you can do copy paste as the first sentence. You may like to do some formatting so that it doesn't look like from a 5-year-old. And you need to write the page number. All right, it starts with the page number, so this is 23. Then the next highlight is in page 26. And again, remember to format it. If you do just copying, pasting, enter, your homework is done. The reading will probably take you some time. If you use a software like that, but the other PDF reading softwares also should have that feature, you may like to highlight in red or in something else, or purple or whatever, the things that you don't understand, so that you ask me, oh, Venerable Sir, I have read here this weird word. It is called, what could that be? For example, Majjhima Nikaya. What is that? And then I will explain to you what is Majjhima Nikaya. Well, I can give you 5 hours lecture on Majjhima Nikaya, but don't worry, I would give you just 5 minutes lecture. All right? So these are things that are very basic, and you need to know and understand them all. So if you don't understand something, well, then you need to ask me. or something is weird, fully blown out. Okay, what is that? Blown out. You ask me, I will explain that. I will explain it in detail, or as much as the class time allows. So again, those are basic things. So about each of those things, it's easy to give a 1 hour or 2 hours lecture. Don't worry, I would not be doing such long, but just ask me so that I can provide you with some basic information and you can then build on that. All right, so it was a pleasure to see everybody. Hope to see you next time. Make sure you meditate every day. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do. Nice. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, everybody.